Hey, welcome back. We have a fun one for you today. We are going to do my top 10 favorite pen brands. No, this is not one of them. This is just an example of a cheap pen I got from an event. But man, it always sat with me, the fact that you can get like a $2 pen from a marketing event and it can actually have really good action. And yet, some of these very expensive pens sometimes don't. So, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite pen models, and tied for 10th between two models, sorry, I could not decide for the life of me, is the Q3D Bolt Pen and the Oz Machine Long John. Could go with the Little John on this, but went with the Long John just because all around I like it a little more. Really like this guy because it's kind of thin and unique, like this little pattern up here. And sorry, I've been grabbing pen tips for checking tip wiggle, but very little tip wiggle. Just very straightforward and minimalist and kind of a cool pen. The Q3D, a bit more my style. Really like the size more for feel in hand. Like the fact that the bolt goes the direction that it gets closer to the clip to give you plenty of room in the hand. Does have a bit more tip wiggle though, so these two tied for 10th. Sorry that I could not decide, but I thought both of them deserve to be here on the top 10 list. Guess we'll start them here at the top and work our way down to number 1. So tied for 10 right there. Number 9, Autmog Click Pen, particularly the one with the clip. I'm just a fan of one with a clip. Personally, I don't like them rolling around on my desk when they don't have clips. It's the main reason more than anything else. But really do in hand, from a fidget perspective, prefer the ones without the clips because you can kind of flip them around a little more. Yeah, just really nice tolerances, fit and finish, straightforward, unique, kind of a click pen action here with the side click bearing that releases it. Almost no tip wiggle, if any at all, and lots of refill options, which makes this kind of cool. I suppose I should, with that, tell you what some of the attributes are that I look for in the pens to make my decisions here on my favorite models. Remember, these are not my favorite brands. I'm going to do that one later. It's a much harder video because I'm going to do a bunch of examples from multiple brands, but my favorite models. So you're actually going to see multiple from a few brands here. But feel in hand, aesthetics, tip wiggle, action, fit and finish, reliability, weight, serviceability, optionality, refills. Those are the things that kind of play into whether or not I like a pen. Which brings me to the Billetspin EDC CamPen, taking up number 8 on the list here. Really nice on the action, really great overall fit and finish. The feel in hand is good. It's like a little fatter than I personally like. I like the feel of that Q3D a little more than this guy. It's just a little thicker than my taste, but a lot of people really like this. Yeah, just a really great all-around pen. A bit heavy on the tip wiggle though. You can even hear that there. So that's like probably one of the biggest drawbacks of that pen. Lots of optionality. They're doing a lot of really cool versions of that right now that are very fancy and fun. And let me see if I can actually improve the lighting here a little bit. Just realize it is a bit low on the lighting. So let me work on that and see if I can improve it a bit here. Hopefully that is a little bit better for you. Sorry about that. All right, bringing up number 7 on the list here is the Tactile turn switch. This particular one that I have, I've just recently swapped out with the Damascus clip. It comes with a really nice stonewash clip. Love the size of it. Love the fidgetiness. One of my gripes on it is that this thing kind of goes in this direction, which only gives you about 150 degrees of hand space. So like if that kind of went the other direction, it would actually be above my hand and would give a little more room. But man, really cool pen. They're having a little trouble with this mechanism where there's some of them that double clutch, but it's not the end of the world. You can see that thing's a little bit longer there than like that CamPen. So yeah, really nice pen, and zero tip wiggle on that one, by the way. So Tactile turn switch pen. The next one on the list, bringing up number 6, is the Grimsmo Saga. This one is like a ½ inch away from being number 2 on the list, honestly. It is a really cool, very reliable mechanism, amazing fit and finish. I think pretty minimal on the tip wiggle. I almost never use it because of the reason that it's not higher on the list is because of the feel in hand. For a hand my size, man, you can't really get away from that mechanism hitting the top of your hand. And I just find that quite annoying. So if that thing was like even a 1/4 inch longer, you can see the difference in size here, just a 1/4 inch longer to get this sort of funny mechanism out a little bit from the webbing of my hand, it would be probably top 2, 3 on the list. So heck of a pen, Grimsmo Saga. Very overpriced though. I don't have value as one of the attributes on here. I'm just purely looking at these from a machine pen perspective and the attributes that I like about pens. Number 5 on the list, and this kind of you're getting into the top 5, so you're going to see a few from this maker. Urban Survival Gear TiScribe Go. Just probably the smoothest of all the action of any pen that I have. This is even smoother than some of them that are higher on the list. Love the fact that with this clip, when it's deployed, you still get full, I particularly brought out a mini because I don't need a full-size pen to have really strong feel in hand where I can move this around quite liberally here without hitting my hand, even on their smallest version. So TiScribe Go, man, really minimal tip wiggle on those as well. It's not perfect, like it has a little bit, but pretty darn good on the tip wiggle. And yeah, just one of my favorite pens. The action, the feel in hand, they're all really good. Now, we're getting into the top few here. So number 4 on the list, and this is incremental with that prior pen, is the TiScribe Urban Survival Gear TiScribe V3. And I could probably swap those two pretty easily with one another. I kind of like the size of the clip more on that one, maybe the overall length a little more like for the efficiency. This again is a mini just to exemplify the fact that I can have this, rotate around in my hand. Now, this gets a little weird though with this clip being so far down on here, and they have this sort of long top cap. It's a bit of a quirky model, but it's kind of what I like about it, and it's extremely smooth, like right in there with this guy, even though this guy's full tie. So this is the Urban Survival Gear TiScribe V3. So it's the TiScribe Bolt V3. They did, he did version 1, 2, and 3 of those, and this is the one that I really like. The 1 and 2 had a gap here when you pulled down the bolt that kind of take it off my list, and the action's not quite as smooth. So those are some of the factors that played into that. All right, we're now getting really close. Top 3. In the top, number 2 and number 3 are pretty interchangeable for me. Some days I say this is number 2, some days I say this is number 3, and I think this could be number 2 with just one very simple change, but we're going to go with number 3, the Arno Bernard Assegai. These just came out this year. Really impressed with the design, really impressed with the smoothness. A little lighter than the action's a little lighter than the Urban Survival Gear pens. Amazing machining there. You can't even see the tips, so the aesthetics are really through the roof. A couple little knocks on this guy, a tiny bit of tip wiggle. It's not much, maybe not too much there. I'm not going to say that that's one of the big ones. The biggest one for me is this turn finish, kind of like the Tactile turns. I just like a stone washed finish a little more personally, or like a satin, something where you don't have that kind of more abrasive feel on it. It just doesn't feel as good in the hand for me. But man, this is a lot of what I like in the Urban Survival Gear and Smooth Precision pens and it's available right now. Slightly less efficient above the clip. You can see it's a bit longer here than these guys, but not too far off from the V3 because of that big long top cap. So if the V3 had a different top cap. Love this pen, think it's great. Love the size, love the fit and finish, love the feel in hand aside from that finishing. So I think with a stone wash, this becomes number 2 on my list, or different materials or something along those lines. All right, number 2 on the list, Confounded machine EDC Bolt, particularly the 2024 model. The older ones are good. I personally have to swap out the springs on them because I find them a little strong. Very, very minimal on the tip wiggle, like if nothing at all. Insane machining. Love the deep carry pocket clip. Love the aesthetic of this pen. Love the frag grip in hand. Love the sizing. There's just a lot to love about this. It's maybe like, could be a slight wider on the diameter, but aside from that, really good. Biggest detraction on this for me is feel in hand, because the bolt goes towards your hand. Man, what an opportunity. If he switches that bolt direction, I really like this pen, or would love to see him integrate his pocket clip into the bolt. I think that'd be a really amazing update to this pen. So that is number 2 on the list, which brings us to number 1. It's by far my most used pen. It's my favorite all-around model, and I'll show a couple examples of it. Smooth Precision Pens, version 2.2. It is the GOAT. It has the integrated pocket clip. It is smooth. The feel in hand is the best of any on this list, in my opinion. Just the diameter of the pen and the overall feel here is phenomenal. The stonewash finish, the look, the aesthetics, the optionality. You can get this in so many different fits and finishes. He did pocket clips, he did different refills. There's an Energel there. He did auto, he did Parker size, really minimal top cap, which makes it extremely efficient. The zirconium is probably the best feeling finish I've had in hand of any pen I've had. He did full size, he did mini, he did amazing milling options on these. Different pocket clips, you can get them polished. Metamorphosis was his custom finishing partner that does these amazing polish on here. Just by far my favorite all-around pen, and to me, the ultimate GOAT of machine pens. Really easy to service. The weight in hand is just enough. It has substance, but it's not like overbearing where you can write with it. I use this particular pen right here in almost every customer meeting I have, taking notes. Do that throughout the day multiple times, and I just keep going back to this pen. I am a big fan. The feel in hand, the aesthetics, the tip wiggle, all meet my mark. The action, the fit and finish, the reliability, the serviceability and the weight, the optionality and the refill options for it, all check the boxes. So that is the number 1. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this list. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing a top 10 favorite brands, which you can see a few of the brands here are redundant, so we will be doing that. And in that video, I'm planning to lay out a bunch of examples from each brand, which hopefully should be kind of fun to look through. But very excited to get this one off my chest. It was one that I wanted to, a video I've been wanting to do for a while, but really wanted to get in hand quite a few other models. There's some definite great pen makers out there and some great pen models, but these 10 right now sit at the very top of my personal list. So that is all for now. If you enjoyed the content, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.